morning. It is December 10th, 2020, and we have a two-part project today. I got done with the actual faux leather technique, and I realized that there was something I needed to show you first, and that is the anatomy of a file folder. So, if you thought that file folders were just straightforward, let me tell you, all those little score marks and tab marks make a huge difference, and we're going to find out why. We are going to make an oversized cover for this composition book that you can buy at the dollar store, as well as a pack of file folders, all the things you will need for this complete project, as far as I can remember, are up on the screen. Feel free at any time to stop this video and write the materials down. So why is the composition of a file folder important to this project, or any project that you use file folders as a base for? Well, we're going to find out, as I found out to my chagrin. File folders are not created equal. They're all made the same way, and the specifications for the manufacturers are all the same. But when you cut them apart, things get a little sideways. When we're looking at this, it looks like we have two sides that are equal. But let's take a closer look. We've zoomed in on the center where all the score marks are, and you can see these two center short lines represent the outside score marks so that you can bend the folder and make a box folder out of it, or curve the bottom. And then if you want to cut this box folder fold out and save it, which is what I'm going to do, well, I'm going to save part of it, then you want to give yourself an extra, and that's these longer lines, or these medium lines, adding 5/16 of an inch. You want to, make the cut straight out. And then finally, the very edges where you have the tab bump outs, you notice they're different. And one is on the top and one is on the bottom from what we were looking at. And one side is 6.5 inches from your cut line to cut your tab off. And so what's the other side, do you think? Well, guess what? It's not 6.5 inches. It's actually 8 inches. If we zoom in on the lower left-hand corner, you'll see there's a scant 1/16 of an inch between the corner of the tab and the line we've drawn for a cut line. But if you look at the top, there's almost a 1/2 inch up there, having used our scoreboard and drawn a straight line. So when we cut there, we're going to have to make sure that we've cut a straight line. And when you don't factor in that one side is 8 inches and the other side is 6.5 inches, you end up with what you see here, which is the composition book not being totally covered. It's not a big deal. You can always use the extra on the other side to do a fold over, but without a wider overage on the far right side, it's not going to fold over and make a box joint that overlaps your cover. We'll address that in a second, but in the meantime, save those scraps. We're going to use the scraps as well. So here's how we address making a fold over cover that will accommodate that composition book in the center section, and then on the left section we have a whole shorter section from that 6.5 inch side to put other things. We actually cut a second file folder. We cut the center section a little wider, and that gave us a fold over cover. Getting a little sneak peek as I have filmed this part after going ahead and filming the faux leather cover technique. You can see here where I've joined part of one file folder to strengthen the back where the composition book will be and to give us that fold over. And on the other side, I've taken 2 or 3 of those scraps and welded them together with 3-in-1 by Beacon to strengthen the box spine. That's the anatomy of a file folder. I hope that this helped you figure out what you need to do to cut these apart and get the dimensions that you want. And with that, you can find the second half of this video series on faux leather under the title Faux Leather, say Mod Podge. It'll be linked up in the iCard and at the end screen. I hope you have a great day, and this gives you the ability to dash out and get a few supplies if you want to sit down and play around with this today or even this weekend. So until I see you in the second part of this faux leather anatomy of a file folder, take care of yourself, wash your hands, God bless you. I'll see you in part 2. Say Mod Podge.